Resilience is defined as the ability to come back and move forward from a tragedy, adversity, or change. When you live in a constant storm of chaos and trauma, you don't realize that your life is a blazing fiasco. For most of my life, I did not know I was building resiliency because I didn't know I was surviving such tragedies. It all started with vicarious trauma while still in the womb. My mother had a mental health breakdown while pregnant with me, and from birth, I was told that I was only here because of a birth control failure. I was abused by those who said they were protecting me, neglected by those who said they were caring for me, hurt by those I loved, and emotionally tortured by it all. I believed that I was worthless dust on affection desolate ground. The older I got, the more torturous the storm became. In my teens, I tried hiding the pain by using drugs and alcohol. I had reckless abandonment for every inch of my life, allowing each lightning strike to hit me harder than the one before. Somehow, I was able to start seeing glimmers of hope as I entered my 20s and stopped using drugs and alcohol. I fell in love, married, and started a family. We lived with beauty all around us while the storms still raged inside me. My childhood trauma had never been addressed, and it created, striking blow after blow, bringing up the hurt from all of the abuse in my life. I struggled to keep my traumas masked with societal happiness. I needed God in my life and the support of those around me. This is when my trauma recovery really began. As I stumbled through the years, storm after storm rolled in. I was filled with anger and trusted very few people in my life. The strength of my recovery was weak because I still had not addressed all the shame that I carried with me. I allowed narcissistic manipulation to dominate over what I knew in my heart to be right. I believe that it was God who persuaded me to seek help from a counselor and psychiatrist to get sound guidance and the correct dosage of the right medication. Although I had started my healing and trauma recovery, I was building a brick wall around my heart because I had learned to expect everyone to hurt me. There was a slight moment where I felt as if the black cloud was starting to lift, and I regained a relationship with my mother. We were able to reconcile some deep hurts, and I started to stand up for my feelings, my dignity, and my boundaries. 3 weeks later, my mom died in a fiery freak accident while mowing her lawn. This sent me into a 3-year battle of debilitating anxiety and depression. I eventually lost my job and nearly my marriage. My mental illness caused me to miss the biggest storm I would ever encounter was building right in front of my own eyes. My young sons were in their own storm of emotional turbulence that eventually led them to using alcohol and drugs to push their pain deeper into the abyss of their own journeys. For the next 9 years, we were all losing grip of our lives despite all our efforts to save them. Then on August 27th, 2019, the worst storm any parent could ever withstand began. A sheriff's deputy knocked on the door and told us that he had just restarted our son Alex's heart from a heroin overdose. A fire blazed all around me. I couldn't breathe. I couldn't think. I couldn't stop shaking. Upon arrival to the hospital, we found out that Alex had gone too long without enough oxygen to his brain and would never breathe again without the aid of a machine. We tried to bring restorative justice to this devastation by donating his organs, and 20 hours later, we said our final goodbyes to Alex just 4 weeks shy of his 21st birthday. God grew a seed of grace in the ashes of devastation and created beauty in my life by restoring the love between my husband, my younger son, and I. There is where I found healing, in loving the 3 boys that were with Alex the night he died. A passion grew to help them. their families, and their friends heal from this devastating fire called opioid addiction and death. I started a nonprofit charity called the R.E.A.L Foundation for many reasons. The R.E.A.L in our name is an acronym for relational, empathetic, authentic, and loving. I truly believe that lasting recovery comes from living real. I don't think fires will ever stop. The difference now is I can see the beauty of God's restoration through the black clouds and the burnt remnants. I see the strength, the perseverance, and resiliency God has given me, and it fuels my passion to help others by continuing to share my story along this new path that I am on, but not without the love and support from a team of friends, colleagues, therapists, and family. I implore you to keep walking, keep talking, and keep reaching for help, because recovery of all kinds is possible.